Take your time.
Hope you all would just pray for a couple of minutes.
Lord help.
And we could continue to feel that spirit that I've already felt this morning, Brother Jason. I've had a sore throat for the last couple of days, and I don't know if my voice will hold up this morning, but you brothers get you a song ready and I'll shortly get out of the way. You know, Brother Darren, it was earlier this week that I turned on the TV and began to watch. The CNN, they had this big special on Brother Mike, and they began to talk about all these atheists and how great they are, and began to hold them up here, Brother Jason. And I couldn't turn the channel because I wanted to see what they would say. What do they think? Why do they believe this way? They began to go and interview different atheists there. In one little section they had this Christian professor sitting here, and then they had her atheist student sitting over here, and they began to talk to both of them, Brother Randy. And they said that the Christian professor sitting there, she began to say, well, you know, I try to do good to everybody that I meet. I try to put others before myself, Brother Darren. And I try to love everybody the same, Brother Randy.
Yeah, Lord.
Why does she, before she could get done saying that, the atheist student, she began to speak up, and she said, well, you see, I do all of those same things so I can be good without God.
Nope.
And she began to say how good she was without God, you know.
No good.
But I can read in one place here in the Bible when they said, good master, what must I do to be saved? Why, that was my Lord, but why? The only perfect one that ever walked upon the earth here. Why, and as they said that to him, Brother Randy, he began to tell them, why there is none good here except the Father. Why, if my Lord could say that, then who are we to say how good we are, Brother Paul? Why, but this day, why it's so special to me? Why we celebrate this holiday here? You see, why a little over 2,000 years ago, there was a man called Jesus who left. He left his home in heaven and came down here. Why, to make a way for me, to make a way for you this evening. Why, and he came down here, and they came and they got him. Brother Jason, they took him away, and they began to beat this man. They began to humiliate this man. Nailed him to an old rugged cross, Brother Mike. I hung him between the heavens and the earth.
Amen.
Why? I don't know if my throat and my voice will hold up this morning. But I'm going to try. I just hope that God will bless me for a couple minutes. I've got something that I want to tell. That I want to tell all the lost men and women this morning. And so,
go ahead.
Why they took my Lord there. Why, just as the song said, and he hung there for about 6 hours. Why, and then they went after he died there, hanging on that cross and laid him in the tomb. And you know, why, as I read here, it says, why did they went to, why the king there, they began to tell him, when this man was alive, he began to tell everybody that he was going to raise after 3 days. So he said, we need to go and send soldiers over here to make sure that they don't come. Why? Because those disciples are going to come. Why? They're going to steal the body so that they can say that he is risen here. Why? So they paid them soldiers an awful lot of money. They said, I don't know exactly how many. They put them there in front of the tomb and told them, now you guard this tomb. Why? You don't let those people come. Why? Take the body away, you know. But I don't even believe that the disciples would have attempted that, Brother Jason, because they knew that they didn't have enough power to overtake those soldiers there. Why? But I'm glad that there was one who had more power than the soldiers there. Why? Right from the inside of that tomb, he had the Why did my Lord, why did He did that for you? He did that for me, and why on that third morning, here He come, right out of the tomb. Why they begin to wonder, where's He at? They see the tomb was empty. Why we're walking on alone? Why this little village one day? Why there was two men? Why did Jesus? He came up to them. He noticed Brother Darren that they were awful sad. Why? He said, why do you walk and why are you so sad this morning? They said, sir, do you not know what has happened in this land? The one that came that was supposed to save us all. Why He is dead? They killed Him. Why we don't know what's going to happen to us now? Why did you see? They were only telling half the story. They didn't know the second part of it. Why they didn't even know who they were talking to. Brother Mike. Why? But I'm glad. Jason, I've heard you say many times. No one ever walked like that man. No one ever spoke like that man. Why I'm glad for that today. I'm glad that when He began to talk to me for the class when I was all alone. I'm down in the city of Longville. Brother Randy, when I didn't have anybody with me, I found myself miles away from home. Why my family couldn't get to me. Why, but there was one that I could get on my knees. I began to pray to Brother Mike, and I found He was always there for me. Why, He'll always be there for you. Why, but they said after Jesus had left them, and they knew it was Him. Why, they said that not our hearts burned within us. Why, because nobody had ever spoke like that man before, Brother Randy. And I felt the same way. Nobody ever spoke like this man. When He tells you to move, you know it's Him.
Yes, sir.
It's that strong today.
Lord.
I ain't going to take a whole lot of time. But I just hope that you guys would consider the whole matter today and understand what this man done for you, what he left. You know, there was on that show, there was another man that began to speak up, another atheist, and he began to say, well, he was getting awful heated about this stuff. He didn't like when they would try to correct him and tell him, well, maybe you're wrong, but he said, you know, it's when Santa Claus comes, he lands on my roof and I see him. He said, I believe in Santa Claus. He said, so when God comes to my front door, I begin to knock and I open the door and I see it's Him. He said, I believe in God. But you know, there was another man, Brother Mike, who I said one time, I'm not going to believe you until I've seen this man for myself. Until I feel the nail scars in his head, until I seen the spear hole in his side, Brother Paul. That was old Thomas there. I began to say that, but you know, it wasn't long. Here he come. I'm glad today that one day in a little room, why Thomas, he was there this time. Why then, oh, here come my Lord, right through the very wall there. Here I am, Thomas. Now you see me. Come over here, son. Fill up the nail scars in my hand. I see the spear hole in my side, Thomas. Now what are you gonna do? Oh, son, because you've seen. Now you believe. Oh, the blessed are those who have not seen. But yet they do believe that. Why I've never seen Him with my natural eyes here. On the world, they want to tell us this. Right here is nothing but fairy tales in this world. Why? But I got news for you today. It's the best building I've ever shown. Brother Jason. Why I wouldn't trade it for nothing.
No.
in death there. Oh, the earth it began to quake. Why the world went dark. Why the graves began to open up. Okay, son, if you think those graves open up then, just wait till another day. We're gonna open up. Why I want to be one in I told this last weekend. Why but I'm going to tell it again. I told my mind I'm going to tell my great son. This famous football player, maybe most of you know him by the name of Tim Tebow. He played in the NFL. Played on one of the best college football teams, Brother Mike. And ever since the first time that I heard this man speak, I was a fan of his because he got on the television and began to talk about how good God was, Brother Jerry. And I thought, man, that's the man right there. I got to pull for him. But the world, they see it differently. They wanted to criticize him. They were just waiting for him to make a mistake so they could put him down and say, that's what a Christian is. Look at his mistakes now. But you know, he began to tell a story one time. He said, you know, when I was playing my first year, we were pretty good. We worked hard all year long. We went all the way to the end and played in the national championship game. He said, we fought hard, but we came up a little short, and we didn't win that game. He said, but then my coach, he had a new motto for next year. He said, and it was finish strong. He said, so we took that and we put it on all of our t-shirts on the back. We could finish strong. We had signs hanging around the football field. We had signs hanging in the locker room. Finish strong there. So here comes the next year. They were working awful hard again. Every time the game was on the line, they were working their tails off, Brother Mike, and they made sure that they came out on top. And so at the end of that year, there they were playing for a national championship again. But this time it was a little different, Brother Darren. They finished it this time. They won that football game there. Now they're the best in the world, national champions. And he said, when we won that game, after that final play, he said I was walking off the field. He said I see my coach coming at me like this with open arms. When he got to me, he said, Timmy, son, you did it. We finished strong now. Now what are we going to do? He said, you know, that was one of the greatest moments in my life. He said, I'm waiting on another day. Ain't you glad there was another man one time? Held his arms wide open for you, Brother Darren. He held them open for you, Brother Mike. Why there's coming another morning, man? He's going to come back here.
Yes, sir.
I want to hear him call my name. Say, son, you finished strong. But now what are you going to do? We can look around us here today. We see troubles, we see sorrows everywhere we look. That's what this world's got to offer us. Troubles and sorrows. We see wheelchairs everywhere we look. We see cancer everywhere we look. We see car accidents everywhere we look. But I want to tell you about another city where there'd be no more sorrows, no more pain. I want to be one in that number.
Yeah, when he calls
And you call my name. You brothers go ahead and sing. Now I'm going to get out of the way. My voice just won't hardly let me do anything this morning, but I'm glad to be here. Why I felt good. And I just hope that God will continue to look down and bless this little meeting. Bless these brothers and all pray for them when they come. But most of all, if you don't have Jesus in your life, you need to pray for yourself.
He's everything.
It's like
12.
Like the woman who had the issue of blood when she was pressing through the crowd. On her knees, just crawling, she knew why she could just touch the hem of his garment, that she would be all right for the bread. She had that faith about her. Why I could just see her down on her knees, reaching out. Why for my Lord? I promise you one thing today. If you'll get down on your knees and you'll reach out to the Lord, I promise you'll reach back down.
Amen. Guarantee you will.
I heard an old story how the Savior came from glory, how He gave His life on Calvary to save a wretch like me. I heard about His calling, of His precious blood upon me, and I repented of my sin and won of His glory. Oh, victory! My Savior, all right, He loved me and loved me with His redeeming love. He loved me ere I knew Him, and all my love is to Him. He plunged me to victory, beneath the crimson blood. I heard about His healing, of His cleansing power, great healing, how He made the lame to walk with Him, and caused the blind to see. And then I cried, "Dear Jesus, come and heal my broken spirit." And somehow Jesus came and brought to me the victory. Everybody, oh, victory in Jesus, my Savior forever. He saw me and called me with His redeeming love. He loved me ere I knew Him, and all my love is to Him. He plunged me to victory, beneath the cleansing blood. I heard about His redemption He has built for me in glory, and I heard